Top of the morning, everyone. My name is Tiri, and I'm back again with another topic or a few topics from a few friends. I think maybe let me start with the first one was individual development plan. How do you go about developing yourself in a company where there's zero support? I think what is very important is the first word there, which says individual development. Individual development basically means as an individual, I need to identify where I need to go in my career. And I need to then go share that information with the business to say, this is where I want to go with my career. Can you support me in being able to do this? And if there is no support, I think one thing that I always ask guys to do is to say there's so many courses that you can do online to develop yourself as an individual. You can also go into websites like Udemy. The nice thing about Udemy is that it always has these courses that you can actually do. So if you want to do a project management course, you can go into Udemy and do a project management course there. So you don't necessarily need the company to pay for that, because in most cases about 150 or 100 bucks, or sometimes they even run specials where it's about 99 rands. So sign up to Udemy, wait for those courses when they start selling them for a discount, then you buy yourself a course. The other question that I got was, what is the point of case study interviews, especially when the candidate is experienced? Now, I think the experience, the beauty about experience is that it's easier to speak about experience based on the circumstance of the company that you worked for. However, when it comes to a case study, what it tries to do is it tries to give you insights into the current company that you would potentially be working at. And then it's saying, based on this company that you might potentially be working at, how would you apply certain principles to deliver onto the mandate of that company? So it's not always about it's just a case study for the sake of a case study. It's sometimes just specifically saying, here's a case study, here's insights into the business, this is insights into how we run things and what we do. And with that question, how would you apply these principles to deliver based on your previous experience? So it's trying to balance the two, to say, how do you balance both experiences that you've got? And then the question about self-confidence and self-expression, I think that one, it's a requirement of a mentor and a coach. What you might need to do is to start finding yourself a mentor and a coach that's able to assist you in these things. And then how do you reassure employees that their roles won't negatively be affected by the fourth industrial revolution? Unfortunately, nobody can ever do that. I think that the assumption about the fourth industrial revolution is every role will be affected, regardless of what role it is. Every single role that exists will be affected. It's about being able to say, what other skills can I learn individually for me to be able to protect my role from ever happening. I mean, you now have robots that are now taking wedding photos. You now have robots that are actually doing bartender kind of work. So there isn't a role out there that I could say it's never going to be affected, but it's about saying, how are you going to prepare yourself? Because the moment you say how will companies reassure employees that their roles won't be negatively affected, then you're obviously seeing the fourth industrial revolution as a negative impact on everybody's life, and it shouldn't necessarily be that. And then the next one that I've got is about switching careers. I think this one, I've had quite a number of questions coming up where people are saying, what do I need to do if I want to switch careers and move into a new role? Guys, I always say, if you want to switch careers, it's always best to switch your career and the current company that you're working at. It is very difficult for you to be earning a certain amount of money to then apply for a role that requires you to have a certain number of years, and for the company to already take you, a new company to take you without the experience. That's the difficulty about it, and that's why it's always best to try and switch careers in your current company, because your current company knows what you're capable of. They know what you've been able to deliver. So if you can actually try and switch jobs in your current company, and start speaking to people in your company that are doing those particular jobs to say, how did you get to where you are at the moment, and what do I need to do to be able to get into the same role that you're currently in. You need to do a lot of research about where you need to actually start focusing on. And then the other question was reflecting on both culture and expectations in that talent and recruitment. I think the question about the value of culture in the recruitment process normally depends on the type of team that you've got. So there is two elements to recruitment. So we've got recruitment and we've got talent acquisition. Recruitment is short term, and recruitment is normally about how many bums can I put in a seat. Okay, I think that sounds wrong, but I think recruitment is normally about here's a vacancy, I need somebody to actually fulfill this vacancy, and that's that. Talent acquisition is about saying here's a vacancy, how do you use the strategy of recruitment to make sure that you fulfill that vacancy and to make sure that you future-proof the company that you're currently working for. So talent acquisition is normally where it's long-term. You're normally planning for the company's future goals, where the company should be going. That's where you actually go around talent acquisition. So I think culture then in that instance, from a talent acquisition point of view, plays a massive role in the type of people that you bring into the company. Whereas for recruitment, you sometimes find that contracting, we're not necessarily looking at the culture conversation. It's about being able to say the person needs to come and deliver a certain project for a certain period of time, and it's quick, you want them to come in and come out. So that's where a lot of the times from a recruitment point of view, people don't play that. The team that I look after normally does purely talent acquisition, which basically means they ask the tough questions, they ask the difficult questions, they say, does it make sense to do this if you can actually fulfill this role with this particular individual? So those are some of the questions that I've got. I've realized that it's very difficult to go through each and every single one of these questions. So what I'll try and do is I'll try and do another video tomorrow to go and address the other questions that I didn't fully address, but I thought I should just address as many of these questions as possible. Thank you once again. Please do share this with some of your friends. Top of the morning is the hashtag. Try and follow it if you haven't seen some of the videos, and you'll find all the videos that are there. Thank you very much for all those that have been sharing, and please let's impact the life. Thank you. Bye.